Hi everyone and welcome back to Princess Tips by Nat. In today's video, I'm going to be putting some press-on nails that I made myself. In order to do this, I have some items here in front of me. Those are some nail clippers, some alcohol wipes, the Glamnetic brush-on nail glue. I also have some cuticle pushers and cutters, and of course, a nail file. And these are the items that I typically use to get my nails prepped to put on some press-on nails. I'm first gonna start off by cutting my nails or clipping them. I want to make sure that they're nice and short. This is really gonna help that almond shape look better because sometimes when the nail is too long, you're gonna be able to see bits of your natural nails sticking out from the sides of the almond shape. So I like to go ahead and cut them down as short as possible. And the nails I'll be putting on today are the nails that I made in another video that I posted. You can see that video. I'm going to link it down below so you can see how I made these nails. But these are the cat eye pink nails with gold chrome. And I'm very proud of this set because it's the first time that I try a combination of cat eye with chrome. It wasn't easy for me to do, but I'm still learning to make press-on nails. So you guys are accompanying me in this journey. One thing I do want to note that you're going to see here is that normally when you're putting on press-on nails, it is recommended to obviously push your cuticles, maybe even, cut off excess cuticle. But one important step is to have your nail be as rough as possible. And that's why you see the nail file there. I'm not going to buff my nail in this video because I don't like doing that anymore. I used to do that, but because I change my nails out so frequently, I change them out every maybe 5 to 7 days, it was starting to damage my natural nail. So instead, if you watch the video before this one where I was taking off my last set of press-on nails, I actually like to put the Olive & June nail strengthener and the Sally Hansen nail hardener on my nail. That's why they look shiny in this video. And I actually find that the nails adhere quite well. The press-on nails adhere quite well to my natural nail without me having to buff them. However, the correct way or the correct method and all the instructions you're going to read on how to properly put on press-on nails, you're supposed to buff your nail just to eliminate the shine. You don't want to really file them down thin. It's just to just take off the shine. As you can see here, I'm pretending to do so because that's supposed to be one of the steps. And then the next step is to grab some alcohol, and you really want to get rid of any oils that you may have on not only your nail beds but also your fingertips, because oils are going to prevent the glue and the press-on nail from adhering to your natural nail properly. So as you can see, I grab one wipe to wipe down my fingertips, and then I'm grabbing another wipe to wipe down my natural nail. If you see me all of a sudden shaking my hand, is because it hurts when I put alcohol on that particular nail, because I had cut my cuticle by accident. And you can see that in a previous video that I accidentally cut the cuticle. Once my nails and my fingertips are nice and oil free, I'm gonna go ahead and start grabbing the press-on nails. I like to use the brush-on glue because it allows you to put a more precise amount of glue onto the nail. And I like to put a thin layer first on my natural nail, kind of like as if you were putting nail polish on. Not too much, just a thin layer to cover the entire nail. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the press-on nail. Now you only want to put glue up to the line where your natural nail ends. You don't want to cover the entire press-on nail in glue, especially if the press-on nail is going to be longer than your natural nail. Once you have applied glue to both, you're going to gently apply it at a 45-degree angle, starting at the cuticle side, and then apply gentle pressure to the nail. Now, something that I'm not showing in this video because of time, and I will show in a different video, I have learned from another YouTuber that not only do you want to apply pressure in the middle of the center of the press-on nail, you also want to apply pressure on the sides of the nail towards the cuticle area, because that ensures a nice seal to prevent water from getting in, because you really want to prevent moisture or water from getting into inside, or in between rather, the press-on nail and your natural nail, because obviously that can lead to bacterial growth, a fungal infection, or any other nail issues. And of course, I'm not a professional. This is just what I've learned from watching other YouTubers and from my own personal experience. But it's really important that you create a nice seal all around the nail. You want to make sure that no water is getting in. And I'm going to repeat this process for every single nail. Now, I typically hold down the nail or the press-on nail for anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. You don't want to just put it on and move on. You really want to make sure that you're applying pressure. And you don't want to just apply very hard pressure, because the point is not to damage your natural nail or to hurt yourself, but enough pressure to ensure that that press-on nail is sticking to your natural nail. Something else that I've kind of picked up from just watching other YouTubers is that I like to put the press-on nails on my dominant hand first, meaning that I'm using my non-dominant hand to put on press-on nails on my dominant hand. I have found that when I do it this way, it actually is a lot easier, because then my dominant hand already has all the nails on, and I can put the press-on nails on my left hand, and it actually makes the whole process a lot easier. When I have put the press-on nails before on my left hand, it's a little bit more awkward once you have long nails on your non-dominant hand to try to then put nails on your dominant hand. So this is just a trick that I learned from other YouTubers, and it has worked well for me. Now, I will say this, at the beginning it's very awkward to use your non-dominant hand. Those are muscles that, I haven't used, or I don't use very often, so it does take some practice. But I have noticed recently that because I have been doing this so frequently, I feel very comfortable now using my left hand to glue on press-on nails. So that is something that if at the beginning it feels awkward, that is normal. You just have to continue practicing it. Another thing you're going to notice me do is grab the cuticle stick, and I'm going to be removing any excess glue from the sides and from the edge of the nail, from the inside edge of the nail. And that just makes sure that the press-on nails look nice and clean, and that you don't have any just glue spilling out from the sides, because sometimes when the glue dries, you have this beautiful set of press-on nails, and then you can see just glue everywhere. And the glue is not that easy to remove from the skin. So you really want to make sure that you have something to just wipe out or wipe the excess glue that may spill out from the sides and from the edge onto a napkin or something. Now, one trick that I have learned, if you do end up getting glue on your skin, one of the things that I personally like to do is that I like to take some oil, some cuticle oil, and rub it on my skin wherever there's glue. And then I take a nail file or buffer, and I gently file my skin, and it removes the glue quite nicely. So that is something that you can try doing to see if it works for you as well. Another thing that you may notice is that I'm leaving the thumbs for last. And the reason for this is, again, just from watching other YouTubers, it's a lot easier to pick up the press-on nails when you don't have any press-ons on your thumbs. So it's better to leave the thumbs for last, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. It just makes it a lot easier to just grab them and put in them precisely. And one thing more that I want to note is that before you decide to apply pressure to the nail, just make sure that the press-on nail is in the position you want it to be, that it's not crooked. I have accidentally applied press-on nails in a crooked way and not noticed until they had fully dried, and that is not pleasant. I have to end up removing them and reapplying them, and that is just not fun to do. So really, when you're applying press-on nails, just take your time. Try not to be in a rush if possible so that they can look as beautiful as possible. Another tip that I've learned is that in order for the press-on nails to really last, you want to wait at least 30 minutes to an hour before getting them wet or submerging them in water. I would also wait 30 minutes to an hour before applying cuticle oil, just to make sure that the nail glue has dried fully and has had a chance to properly adhere to your natural nail. And I find that following those steps really helps the nail or the press-on nail last longer. So now I'm done applying my press-on nails. What do you guys think? Do you like them? If you want to watch more videos like this, like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting new videos every Friday. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.